Just a minute. Just fetch it. Is there background noise?
Yes, a little.
Okay. There's some function going on across the street. Um, yeah. Meanwhile, I look through it. Could you just post the questions in the chat section so that I can take a look at it one by one? If you have any queries in week 5.
Mm. Is it possible to share my screen? So,
Yeah, that is also fine.
okay. Yes. Is it visible? Hello. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Just stop sharing your screen. I'll share the screen. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, sir.
Graded assignment 2, question number.
10 and 11.
Okay. This was from week 5, right? Or week 4? Hello?
Week 2, sir.
Week
Week 2, sir.
2. Okay. Just a minute. Was it week 2?
Yes, sir. Graded assignment.
No, graded assignment 2, week what?
Week 2, sir.
Week 2.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the graded assignment. This is week 2, right? Graded assignment 2. And question number 4.
It's question 10.
Question number 10. 10 and 11, is it?
Yes.
Mm. For which of the following command the output obtained will be number 3? What is your bash subshell? Yeah. So what is your answer? And why is that?
I couldn't understand this question, sir.
So you understand the concept of subshells?
Sorry. Subshells.
Concept of subshells.
Not really, sir.
Okay. I'll just stop sharing. Question number 10 and question number 11. What was the question in 11? Which of the following correct syntax to store the output of the command ls to the variable named dir? Yeah. What was the question in this?
In this, sir, option 3, how it is?
Okay. Why is it option C?
Option C.
Okay.
I mean, C and D both work
Both work, yeah.
for commands.
Yeah.
It's a backtick in the option C. So backticks are used for if you want to execute a command or save a command, basically.
Okay, Archit. Could you answer the question number 10 also then? See, in 11, basically, why the first option was not right?
Uh,
There is space around the equal to sign, and also
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So the basic the way we define the variables is that there shouldn't be any space before or after the equal to sign, right?
Yeah.
So that is why the first option is wrong. What about the second one?
It's a command, sir. So you have to either specify with the backticks or you have to have a dollar in
Yeah,
brackets
but this
when you're
definition
assigning
will.
a variable to a command.
Yeah. So, but what I'm trying to ask you is this particular statement correct or not correct? Forget about the question. Is it syntactically correct?
It is correct, but it is only storing like ls
Right.
as a string in dir.
Yes. So in this particular what variable dir stores the string ls because it is not specifying what this ls is. Ls is simply a string in this case. So what is the difference between what is so different in these two and these two?
so second option, how it is storing it as a string?
So the issue, the way we usually store um, the output of any of the command is either you need to use backticks or you need to use dollar into parenthesis. So what essentially happens is that whatever the command inside it is will be executed and that output will be stored in the dir's command. Same is true with this.
Okay.
Okay. So what
So
about
this is
this
the
question
basic.
number 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the basic structure to store a variable, shell variable.
Yes. What about question number 11? Can you take us?
Question 10.
Yeah, question number 10. I'll just pull up. It'll just show me the. Yes. Are you able to see?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yeah. So what are shells and what are subshells? Any one of you?
I think it's if you are in the current shell, that you can come to know from the process ID,
Hmm.
but from there you can spawn another subshell.
Hmm.
To,
But why do you need to spawn another subshell? What does it mean by spawning a subshell?
So what I understand right now is not from week 2, but from week 5, that if you spawn another subshell, then you can use source to execute a file. No, you don't have to make any modification to the writes to execute permission, and because it's works in a subshell, and the variables are not stored there.
Okay.
So
So how do you go by defining shells? Out of these four, right? Which is the correct one, or all are correct syntaxes?
they are all correct syntaxes, I think.
Okay. So there is a important concept which comes into. So let's just look at this $bash subshell. So what type of variable is it?
Shell variable.
Shell variable.
Right. So it's a shell variable that is defined in the system, basically, right? So if you guys have your own systems, right, just try to execute $bash subshell and tell me what the answer is.
Just the $bash subshell.
Subshell, yeah. Just check whether that uh, whether that command exists or not.
You just have to type $bash subshell, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is how we invoke.
Invoke the subshells.
Hmm. What's the answer you're getting?
No, so starting the system.
Oh, okay. Anyone who has, you can just use Windows subshell also.
It's a command not found.
Okay, but what is the value which comes before that?
0.
Zero.
Right? So what does that mean when you just put in the? Let me just share my screen.
It's not in a subshell, that means.
Right. So your shell number, your current shell is 0th. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah. So what is that? What was that command exactly? Just dollar, right?
It was echo $.
Was it?
Yeah.
Count of these child shell.
No, in this thing it was just bracket. There was a bracket and
Parenthesis count.
parenthesis, right?
So the way we usually define a shell, so if you just echo it, let's just echo it. Okay, so it tells you this is the 0th shell, right? This is the parent shell. What if I go and can you tell me now how usually we parenthesis is what it will put into subshell,
Yeah,
right?
one.
And so this is the first subshell. Now the options which you had, right? The first generic option which you may have, right? You may tend to do like this. Is this a correct syntax? Should it run? Hello?
Yeah, sir, let run.
No. Should it run? What should be its output?
No.
You're not getting any output, right?
Nothing.
So let's start with the semicolon. What does semicolon does?
End of that particular.
Command and starts the new command.
So when we usually put, right, suppose I have echo hi, and then maybe I just want to ls, maybe var log, and then again echo done. Yeah, so in this process what you're doing essentially, so anyone,
You're running three commands.
Commands.
three independent commands, right? But
Yeah.
three independent commands are separated by colon so that it can be run in a single line. Even though it is a
Right.
single line input, it is treated as three different inputs, right?
Yeah.
So it should give you hi, then followed by whatever your process was, and then done. So in case of bash sub shell, let's just take this out. What is happening here?
It will run the bash subshell and
Will it run this? Echo hi.
Yes, sir. 2.
yeah.
0 and
Answer
high.
is
Yeah.
1 and high.
What about this? So it is telling you that the subshell level is second, and then you're echoing the outside, right? Let's just put one more here. Echo high, and then echo dollar bash underscore subshell, right?
Yeah.
So you were in the second one. So your current shell is 0th one, right? Then you enter. Which one got executed first?
First one echo
first one.
double parenthesis.
The one inside the parenthesis.
One inside the parenthesis, right? So this one was the first one. So if I just again do echo dollar bash score, so you see that we moved from second to 1 to 0th one, which is the current one, right? So in this particular scenario, what you had? You had 3, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So what should be the correct way of doing this? Right?
Colon after.
There should be a semicolon after the parenthesis.
Yes. Not necessarily this. Right? So you move from third to second to first. The importance of usually these subshells is that you can define a whole different set of environment in the subshell, which will be independent of your current shell also. So this is specifically very useful when you're running some of the tasks which are very environment specific. So I think $en we should print out all the environmental variable, right? Okay.
Sir, what is UID here?
Just check. Dollar EU ID
Yes.
echo. So just look at it. Man bash. I want to what? Grape what? EU ID, right? Let's see if the man page of bash has information on EU ID. So EOID is something which expands to the effective use of ID of the current user initialized at. What if I want 4 5 lines? So if I want 4 lines before and 4 lines after, I give an option C. If I want just a 4 line after, I give option A. And if I want 4 lines before that, I give option B. So let's just go with C and
So what
C.
is C? What will C do?
So C will do is it will print out 4 lines before and after. So if you just go
Okay.
into man grep and then you just try to grep the option A. Okay, let's say
C is like
option.
centering the line and then taking.
Yeah. So your what do you call it? Your pattern, right? Basically, yeah. So the line, the pattern, wherever it has matched, from there it will match the before ones and after ones. The lines, 4 lines.
Okay, understood, sir.
Yeah.
But
So
where it is showing that it will print before and after.
so let's just go with C. So if you go here, it says in man page of grep, I'm just grepping the relevant lines to see what does hyphen C means in this case, right? For example, in the default C local, the equivalent of ABCD, many can use C local. Okay, it just man page grep. Yeah, there it is. So it is context line control. You have A after the context, B before the context, and C at the context before and after. So
Okay.
place a line containing a group separator. So you can just look at all of these options also. So you should get very familiar with man page. The way I wanted to go with today's review session was something which is very relevant to the questions which has been asked now. That so even the other question which has been asked on what is the shift command, right? So the way usually, so let me just quickly review things, okay? So you already know that Linux file system contains, just forget about Docker, but you have boot, etc, init, media, opt, all of these folders, okay? And all of the files on the Linux uh, are files, like it's file based system. So and what all your what do you call it, all your commands, right, which you use resides in your bin directory or user bin directory, usr bin directory. All the media, like whatever you will mount on, like maybe you have a pen drive or you have a cd drive, which will be either in media or in mnt section. In mnt section you will also find the hard drives which are present on your system, right? And your all your files usually where you deal in your linux are restricted to only home folder, right? And one of the another important folder which I think sir was also discussed is var folder, where you use uh, information in var log also to look at the system logs. These are very important when you actually start working on your own system and want to know how things run. And it will log if you have any error. It will keep log in your var folder, where proc essentially contains all your processes in it, right? Then the other important aspect which we learned uh, cd was uh, L. So this is the command which will give you all the information, which will give you the permissions, then who was the user, then what was the size, the date and time of modification can also be present here. And we also learned about how to identify hard links and soft links, how to identify common files. So if you have just dash, it's a common file. If it is L, it is mostly your soft link files or hard link files. And then you also know how to identify, how to differentiate between um, what do you call it? Uh, between a soft link and a hard link is just to look at, when you use option I, it will give you inodes of each of the file, and based on which two files have the same inode numbers will become your what do you call the hard links, right? While the soft links will have different inode numbers. The other thing which you learned during this process was how to identify and how to modify the permission strings. So you have permission string read, write, and execute. And if you go ahead and create your own,
Sir,
uh,
why is some file or folder names are highlighted in different color, like unmount, ping color?
okay, so let's just see whether it is a file.
Like in the previous command, like you can see in the top of the page unmount, right? And su, ping, like those are highlighted in a different color, right? Why is it like that?
Yeah. So this is usually a color scheme which is used by your shell. So in my case, if you go, I hope you guys are able to see this. Yeah. Yeah. So if you go, I'm running Ubuntu 18 on Windows, and if you go here, it will tell you how the what do you call, how your just uh, yeah. So this is defined by theme which you are using, right? And if you want to highlight certain type of files by uh, or you want to differentiate between folders and files, that you can set it up here. So the theme which I am using currently is highlighting those files right now. It doesn't mean more anything more than that. So if you go back, right, cd dot dot, and if you go and look at the file here also, you will see that even though your boot is a folder, home is a folder, and all of these are folder, it is not highlighted in this scenario. While I'm pretty sure if you're using default Ubuntu theme, they will be highlighted in a different color, and files will be highlighted in a different color. So you see that the color theme here used is different. So it is just that the kind of theme which I'm using right now. So yeah.
Okay, sir.
So yeah, we were looking at the permission strings and all that, right? So permission strings are very important when you want to say.
So regarding hard link only, a file, can we say a file is a hard link for itself?
A file is a hard link for itself.
Yeah, like because like sir told us that the number beside the permission string, it refers to the number of hard links that file has, right?
Yeah.
And since if it is only one, that means there's only basically the file itself.
Yeah, the file itself.
So can we say the file is a hard link to itself?
No, no,
Like
no. That it just means that there is one instance of the file, right?
for example, a question comes in the form like there are a long listing has been provided for a file, and it has the number, for example, 4. So does that mean the file has 4 hard links or only 3 hard links?
No, it has 3 hard links. The file itself cannot be a hard link, right? That is the original file. A hard link means a copy of a file, right?
Yeah, but how can
Yes.
we differentiate between the two between hard links? Like the inode number is same, just the name is different.
Just the
So
name is different. The inode number, which essentially stores your information, right?
yes, sir.
The metadata about the file.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so based on that, you differentiate between the two files. So
But
name doesn't matter as long as the address is same.
yeah, so the inode number will be the same. So how do you know which file is the original file and which is the link? Because even for hard link, the first character will be a dash. The inode number will be same. The number of hard links will be the same. It's just the name that is different.
Yeah, the name is different. Your location in which the data is being stored is the same.
Yeah, that's my question. Like, so how can we differentiate between the original file and the hard link?
See, when you create a hard link, right, there are two ways. A hard link cannot be copied onto a new hard drive. Suppose you put a pen drive, right, and you wanted to
Yeah,
copy a file. You can copy the original file, but you cannot copy the file which is a hard link
Okay.
to it, because the way usually your backup system also works is uh, that whatever the original file which you already have, a hard link of that file will be stored in your backup. So whatever changes you have made into your original file will only get updated in the backup file. Correct?
Okay.
Whenever you run backup. So that is the whole idea with hard link and soft link. But essentially, if you have just one, that means there is only one instance of the file. The file, like, there is no way you can say that the file is a hard link of itself, right? For anything, for hard link to exist, there has to be at least two instances of it, right? So in this case, right, you can see bzip has 3, right? So it is what, 22, right? So just take a look at. So I just wanted to also. So what if I want to just grep all the files which starts with 22? What is what what pattern should I match?
The caret symbol and then 22 and then maybe a /b for the word break.
So /b has to be in the front as well as in the back, right?
No, sir. It can be at the back only. That's all.
Now let's do that. No, we are in bin directory. So lsli, we already know that the bzip file has two hard links. Where did it go? Has two links actually. So bzip, yeah. Where was it? 22.
Sir, number
Yeah.
of hard links determine that many number of branches that folder has, right?
Sorry.
Like hard link 2 means it has inner folder inside that main folder. That's what the hard link number increases, right?
No. What do you mean by it? It has one more folder inside it.
Like if it is a file, like hard link number will be 1. If it is sub file is created under that file, then hard link number will increase. Then
So in that scenario, if suppose bzip is in this particular case, we are in the bin directory, right? So what you say is correct. Then bzexe, or no. So there are two hard links which I see directly here, right? The bunzip2 and the bzcat. These two both are essentially hard links. But do you see the number vary?
yes, sir.
So
Three.
it is total number. So there must be another 22 here. So the reason why it didn't grep, right? As you can see in the first column, there are spaces, right? So there are at least two spaces before the 22 number comes. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So let's just go by this. So there it is. So you have three instances, right? Where you have bzip2, bzcat, and bunzip2 have the same inode numbers.
And
They
same
have the
hard links.
same. Sorry?
Hard link are also same 3.
Yeah, so the hard link total number of instances present for this file are 3. So there are essentially 3 copies. But you see that each command. So each of this is separate command. The way hard link in this instance works is that you have one big file, but when you run bzip2 command, it will only execute certain part of that file. When you run only bzcat, it will run certain part of that file. And when you run bunzip2, it will run certain part of that file. The file which is stored at the inode number of 22. So I think stat was the command, is it? To look at
Yeah.
the. Yeah. So it tells you at what location, at what inode number, and how many links there are. So there are 3 links to it. Okay.
So in the above case, if we say like the number of hard links for bzcat, then it will be 3
Number of
hard links for bzcat.
the hard links will be 2, right? The total number of
Including
instances of
BZCat,
it is, yeah,
three.
including BZCat, it will be 3.
But for BZ,
But in this particular case, right, it is linking to one single file which is located in here. That file is not named. BZCat is just a command which is only, what do you call it? Running the code, part of the code which is present in that particular file. Let's just say,
BZCat is a file name, right?
yeah, it is a file name. So it's a binary file, right?
Mhm.
So it's like you learned about functions, right? How do you call functions?
Just write the name of the function.
Let's, for LSLI, we should write a function which will call LSLI. Okay, so let's say, so how do you define function? Hello?
You can give the name of the function and the parenthesis and then curly bracket.
Yeah, just like C, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so what should I, so LSLI, then into bracket, what should I write? Echo, I'll just store LSLI command is equal to, so how do you
Dollar
pass,
then parenthesis.
right? LSLI, either dollar and parenthesis or
Backticks.
in the backspace. So,
Backticks, yeah.
and then in the next line, I want like to echo dollar
LSLIC.
LSLI C, right? And then we are closing this function. So if I run LSLI, it should give you this output, right?
Yes, sir.
So last time I think somebody said if you put double quotes,
Sir, is it possible to write the function to a file?
you can write function to a file. The whole idea of functions is that, right? One of the things I think professor must have discussed during the lecture is that you can create your own functions and you can save these functions into your bash rc file. So essentially, if you go into your cd home folder, right, and if I go less dot bash rc, so if you go to this bash rc file, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
yes, sir.
Yeah, so you can define your functions here at the end of this file. So as you can see, even this bash rc file is kind of a shell script. It has all this information, all this if loop, else loop. How do you want your prompt to look like, and all of that information is stored in this particular file. Unless and until you don't know what you're doing, do not delete any of the information from the bash rc file. Okay, because bash rc file essentially sets the environment mm, for your bash whichever you are running. So if you want to permanently store it, either you can store your functions in a root bash rc file, or if you just want to use it for yourself and not other user of your computer, you can just store it in your own bash rc file in your home directory, all these functions. So the way we defined function was what? We gave a name, then uh, braces, then you have curly braces, and then whatever content you wanted to put in there, and then curly braces close. This is the way you can define functions. Okay, any questions in this?
No, sir.
Yeah,
So
okay.
can we say that this bash RC is similar to vimrc?
It is for vimrc. Vimrc, as far as I know, controls the way vim actually looks, right? So it will load at the beginning when you load your vim. So in case of bash rc, it is essentially whenever you are running your shell, bash shell, uh, it will get executed in the beginning. So if you want to make certain changes the way it looks like, or you have certain extra functionalities, if you want to add aliases into it, you can do the same. So other thing which you can do the same thing, right? How do you put alias? How do you define
alias
alias?
equal to and define.
So should there be a space?
No space at all.
No
Yeah.
space.
Okay. And so what should be the next step? I want to do the same. ls-li. So should there be backtick or dollar
Inverted
this,
comma.
or
Single
just
quote.
ls-li?
Single quote.
No, you have to first define the alias. What alias you want for that?
Okay, so it shouldn't be alias equal to, right?
Yeah.
No.
So
It
it
should
should be
be alias
alias
and the
space
name.
Alias, then
Name.
ls minus li
ls-li. Let's say it's an instant 2. Okay, is equal to
ls minus
Within quotes, I think.
within quotes. Yeah.
double quotes.
No, single.
Yes. Yes.
quotes?
Double is
Double.
the safest in bash.
So if
Single
I
is also
do ls-li, right?
Yes, sir.
Should this, when I invoke this, will it run this command, or should we need to do
Yes.
it what we did in the case of function?
So it should work.
no, nothing. It should work fine.
It should work.
Okay, so let's say ls-li hyphen 2. Okay.
Hmm.
Why do you think it worked, and why it didn't need it, to give this, what we did, what ls li? Will this work?
Yes.
No, this will not work.
Let's
This
just
is a
test.
So I think this will just store the output of the command in LSLI.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
So if I go like this, and then if I do ls hyphen 3, oh no, sorry, ls-li 3, not found, right?
Why, sir?
So alias is what? Why do you use aliases?
To make
Shortcut.
shorten the
kind of.
command.
Right.
Shortcuts.
So what does alias assumes when you create commands, shortcut for commands?
Assumes means
So it will basically, I think, run the string as it is. Like it will.
So what essentially it is doing, right? So it is exactly whatever output. So there is nothing wrong with it. What it is doing. So suppose
It's just giving a name to your another name to your command. So that's, I mean, it's the literal meaning of alias is that.
right. Should this give you an output? No, right?
So if you put it in parentheses, then I think it will work.
Like this.
Yes. Sir.
No, again, it will not work because.
So what essentially we did here, right, is that we were assigning whatever. So whatever comes in the backtick will get executed, right? So what was in the backtick? So if I go ls-li, you had total, then 344, and then all of this, right? So when you were running ls-li as is, as if it's a command, it is telling you that total is not a command, right? Total from Debian total, you can use that. Or it was telling you that it started taking this inputs then, right? And it started telling you that these all are not commands. So essentially you're pushing text into, what do you call it? Into your shell. So if I just type total, it will give me the same error, right? Or if I give 37179, it will give me the same error, correct? Which it is doing in here. So essentially whatever output of ls-li was stored into that alias, and alias was what it was trying to do, was it was running as a command, which is why it didn't work. So whatever command you want to run, usually you always use in double quotes, whatever command you wanted to give, right?
So can we use single
Aliases.
quotes here?
Sorry,
Can we use single quotes here? Because
let's just try.
We just use no single quotes.
No,
It
no,
won't
that
work.
was backtick.
This one.
Yes, sir.
So ls li, you are giving it in
This
the
will also
single
work,
quote.
I think. Yeah.
So let's just give it different name. So ls li underscore 4, right?
Yes, I was
So
saying about the single
single or
single quotes
double
only.
take.
It
No,
will work
single
for
quote or
the
double quote. So it
ah,
has to be a straight quote, not a quote, like, not a back tick, which
I didn't
essentially tells
mention
that it is
about
a
that.
command, right? Or neither this parenthesis, right?
But sir, there are so many
That are
variations
only
to
for
this. It is
shell
better
variables.
to use the
The
double quote to
standard
be on the safe.
practice is always use double quotes, even if it is
Okay.
accepted like that, right? It is always. So what may occur is that you may have something else which is in your command, which may interact with this single quote, and then it won't work.
So since we are using double quotes, is it possible to have the shell variable also part of the alias string?
Let's try that. So give me an example.
So we can have a no. So what we can do is instead we can just define a new variable,
Hmm.
and maybe let's call it ls and assign it value ls.
Ls suppose 6 is equal to
ls
ls.
and yeah, just enter, and then maybe ls alias ls li 5.
Just a minute. Should it give you the result?
So curly brackets won't give you the result. A curly bracket
Okay.
will just print.
It will give, no?
It will give. What if I put echo?
Okay.
So essentially, you are printing when you do dollar and in curly braces, whatever variable it is, right? You're putting the output as is onto your screen, and when you do echo, you're giving whatever output it gave you, right? Ls to the output screen. Yeah. So you were saying alias.
So
So given this information, should it work? Alias. Suppose
I was saying ls li 5, let's say,
let's say 5 is equal to
is equal to double quotes and then a
ls
dollar
6.
ls6. Yeah,
Dollar ls6 or just ls6?
I think it should be dollar ls6 if you want to take the variable.
Shell variable.
Okay, let's do that. It is working. So what if I take that out? Just put lsli. Should it work?
Yes, it will again.
No,
It will work
No.
because,
No, it won't.
no.
but essentially, aren't we just like printing ls underscore
That is
6?
what we are doing, right? In this case, because unless and until you don't tell that it is a shell variable, it will not, put that output. So this is essentially the whole string is getting executed first. Correct. In this
Okay.
scenario, right? Whatever the output of this, made sure that we get ls out of it, right?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, the same thing is going on in here. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
can
Okay.
you discuss the use of different types of brackets like curly, circular, and square brackets?
In what context you want to know?
Like square brackets, we can one in the numerical comparison can be done. Circular brackets, some features are reduced like that. Can you discuss about that?
You want to know about the integers?
Yes, sir.
How to deal with integers?
Yeah.
So, what if I want to add 2 plus 3? Can you tell me? This is one of the way, right? What? Should it work?
Why are you putting backticks? It should.
No?
No.
No.
What was the problem here?
Okay.
Space.
So one of
Why
the
is
way you can evaluate. Sorry.
Double parenthesis also.
Oh, no, you are not audible. What do you say? Hello.
Yeah, double parenthesis also can use for the math.
Yes. So double parenthesis. So
In this, can you use single parenthesis and EXPR within and put 2 plus 2? It should work. Sir.
should it work like this?
No, put EXPR in within the parenthesis.
Okay.
Within the parenthesis.
Okay. EXPR and then space. Just this.
Yes, and no, the space between the plus also.
Do I need to put dollar before this?
Yeah.
I don't
Yes.
recall. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is the way you can use single brackets.
Okay.
What
For
if you want to
expression.
use double brackets? Should it work?
Then you don't have to put EXPR. You can just
EXPR.
put 2 plus 2. Don't have
Right.
to put EXPR. Yeah.
Why so?
It's a double bracket.
Because that's a syntax.
Syntax for expression, integer, right?
Yeah.
Double braces. Sorry, brackets.
Double brackets. But will it work without spaces?
Yes, it should work without spaces also.
This
Yes.
is why double brackets are usually preferred, because in this scenario, right, there is a lesser chance that you will make a mistake
Mm.
compared to these, where if you just forget one of the spaces, you may get an error.
If we
And it
remove
will be
dollar,
very
then it
difficult
will be just a string, right? I mean,
if you remove the
dollar. Okay, then it's not taking.
why.
Syntax unexpected token.
Why? What does that mean? Should it work?
It's not working.
So you had, syntax error near the open bracket,
Open.
right? When I put
The
a
close.
backslash, it went away. Then again, I put another backslash. The second one went away. Now you have an issue with this one. And now you have issue with the last one. What should it print now?
2 plus 2. Okay.
Because if you have revised your
Escaping, it is escaping the characters.
you're
right?
escaping it, yes. So this is a regular expression, okay,
Regular
and
expression.
this is a special character because
Hmm.
whatever you're putting in here becomes a special character, and that's why. What should this give? Nothing. Error
Which one? This.
without echo.
Nothing, I think.
Yeah, nothing error. Okay.
Command
Not found. Okay.
because now you're running it as a command. Is it a command? It is not, right?
No, it is not.
Yeah. So the other thing, I think, which other can we use square brackets?
For
No,
integer? No.
We can use there's a let expression, and also we can use dollar and single square bracket.
Sorry,
We can use dollar and single square bracket.
That's for like
dollar and single square bracket like this.
Yes, sir.
Then dollar.
No, dollar outside and then a single square bracket.
Okay, dollar then what? 2 plus 2 like
Yes,
this.
Yes, sir.
And what if what about the 2?
That'll also work.
Work. No, it's not working.
Why?
Okay, you have to remove the dollar. Yeah.
Look for a condition.
That is just a string.
Okay. This
Okay,
is
that-
only for
Condition.
comparing to
Comparing.
regular expression. Comparing a variable with a regular expression.
Like
Okay.
a minus gt, something like that. Just a string. Just a
If it is without anything, right, without echo and everything, this becomes a test condition, right?
test condition.
Dollar question mark.
If I want to check what echo true, right?
Yes.
So it should print true because this is executed successfully. What if I put here 3? So it is not
Okay.
printing. So If I put or, should it put false, right?
Yes, sir.
If this fails, echo false,
False, right? Okay.
right? So this is one of the way where we use test conditions. So what we
Yes.
looked for, what we have seen so far. Yeah, let's go back to the basic one. Okay, why did this work?
So it
And
treats it as an expression. It's arithmetical.
so this is these two are equivalent. What if I take
Hmm.
this out? All of these spaces.
I think there should be space. Okay.
No, it will also work.
Not a problem. So what about what we saw this one, right? And it
Mhm.
worked only with spaces, is it? And then we needed to put
And
EXPR.
EXPR inside, yeah.
Yeah, and then we needed to put here also space. If I remove this, still works.
So in this case, it's just executing the command inside. In the parentheses, they're just for like the simple the way we use it for other command variables, right?
Like what? What if I just put here what? Echo true. Will it work?
Yeah,
So what it is doing exactly?
It's just the way it's the same that we use for defining the commands in a variable, the backtick or the dollar parenthesis, right?
No, but what does, so let's say what we just saw, which variable we saw? Echo bash
subshell.
subshell. Nice. So let's just echo something else. Echo high. Should it work?
Yes, I think it will just give 4 and 5 high.
4 and high.
Right. So that means we can also try with bash
Subshell
subshell. So what should be the value? 0, 1,
1, I think.
right?
1.
Because what essentially this parenthesis means is that whatever you're putting inside in here is going to a separate shell. So in a separate shell, all your transferring is expr. So it should also work here, right? 2 plus
Yes,
2,
2 plus 2 should work, right?
right?
Instead of
Correct.
hash subshell, if you do $0, then what will happen?
Sorry, instead of
Bash subshell, to
Ah.
type $0.
What does $0 says?
Name of the shell.
Name of the parent shell, which is bash. Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't think it's the name of the parent shell. It is the name of the shell, right?
Let's
Yeah, it's the
just,
name of the shell, right?
Yeah, name of the shell.
sorry, echo bash. If I put it in the shell bash, if I put it in another subshell, what? The output shouldn't change, right?
No.
Because you're just asking, this is a special variable which tells you what environment it is. So in this particular scenario, it is bash, correct?
So, but if you like put PS inside instead, I think it would be a subshell, right?
Let's see. It is a subshell. So just PS, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, will give the number.
PS
Yeah,
will
it
give
will
like
just give you the number, or will it give you an output?
it will give like the yeah.
Process ID. Yeah. All the shell
And
bash.
if you put PS,
What is the command to get in the tree form?
yeah, the dash dash forest.
Dash forest, yeah.
Dash dash.
Dash forest. Should it work here? Let's put it one more
Yes.
here. PS dash forest. So the first one
First one is
should be
this.
the inside one, right? And the
Yes,
second
sir.
one is second one. They have different IDs, right? 613 and 614. The first one which got executed was this one, then this one.
First one is this, right? Upper one.
Hmm?
Upper one, PS forest.
Yeah. So how do you use sleep command here? Just sleep.
And
Sleep
then
and
the
then
time.
time
So
10
how do
seconds.
you give time?
10.
Just 10?
I think it's milliseconds. And
No. Just 10.
Let's just use 5. Okay. 10 is too long.
Okay.
So unless and until the inner loop didn't execute it completely, the outer loop or the outer shell didn't execute it, right? And
yes,
what if I do this? What does this do?
it puts it in the background.
So any command which you are learning running for a long time, right? Suppose you have a script something. Suppose I just quickly go with this. Okay. So in here you see that the sleep is still running in background. So let's just put it for 10.
Mhm.
So it will run for longer. And then
So maybe
can
you
we
can.
do FG? What if I want to get that sleep command in FG? How do you do that? Foreground.
Uh,
Is it possible?
yes.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
but FG has to be used with something, I think.
Let's just look at the man page. Man FG. You want to do subshell and grape subshell. It should be there, right? Something like that. No, no entry
No,
for
man.
FG. FG
Shell
help.
built in. It is.
Move job to the foreground. Please place the job identifier. Okay, so let's run more time. So what essentially is telling you, if you want to do FG, you have to tell which process it is, right? Which process it is? Sleep 635, right? 635.
If I
No such job. Did it got executed already? Top. So top will show you all the processes which are running currently. Sleep is not running, right?
no.
No.
What if I do it for 100? Can we do it now? What is that? Sleeps ID 642. FG 642.
No such job.
Motion
It's
job.
not
Is it?
running.
Do you have to put 642 FG?
Sure. See FG help. Place the job identified by job spec in the foreground, making it the current job. If job spec is not present, the shell notion of the
Okay,
current
it has
job
to
is
be
used.
FG and job specific. You're doing it
Mm,
correctly.
You're doing it.
Or do I need to put job spec there? Hmm?
Sorry.
Do I need to put job spec?
Inside the uh, bracket.
So is it
Sorry,
because it's in a subshell?
Inside the bracket.
it is in the subshell. So it is running in a subshell, which is why we cannot access to this particular command
Mm,
in your this current shell. It is running in the second one, right? If you
Yes, sir.
look at it, right, the first process ID. So what is the process ID? How do you find the process ID?
$.
Well,
Dollar. Echo dollar.
So what is this 10 represents?
The bash shell.
Yeah, the current shell's
Current
process
shell.
ID. So that
ID.
is yours is 10th, right? And it is running in the inner bash shell. It is
Mhm.
running in the 6. No,
Sleep
it
is
is
running
still
in the
running in
sleep.
the 10th, right? So sleep is still outside. It is not inside, right?
How?
And under this bash, you have a subshell in which you have PS running, but the sleep is running on the top of it, right? In the background.
Mhm. Yeah.
Let's just look at PS again. Let's just run this and then do PS. say sleep is running. So the process ID is 651, right? FG
658.
658.
No such.
It's not a job ID, it's a process ID, right? How do you get the process to the foreground?
What is the job ID then?
Uh, Simply FG will do it, right? So if suppose I put just sleep here, right? Sleep 100. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Put it back. And then if I
Just
do
leave them
FG, it
background.
should work, right?
Mhm.
So this is working fine.
So it has now come to the foreground.
Now it has come to the foreground, and unless and until it doesn't complete the 100 second, it will not come out of it.
Okay.
I'll just stop this. Man PS current processes. Let's look at the job ID and process ID. Where is it? To see every process on the system using standard syntax, PS-E, EF, EF, ELY. What does that mean? So let's just try PSE. Run that again. Anyways, I think we are just going tangent. So yeah, that is what the subshells, the processes, and the process management, the way we do it. You guys worked on your shell variables. Do you know how to manipulate shell variables? Where?
Mm.
Suppose var is equal to process. How do I know how many what do you call characters it has? How do you find it out?
Hash
Into
Yeah.
dollar, right?
Mm.
Hash
var.
var.
Yes.
So that should
Number
give
of
you how many
length
characters
of
it
the
is, right? Length
variable.
of the substring. What
Substring.
if I want to cut it? How do you do it?
Colon, then the
Colon.
offset,
And
and then the length of the substring.
Is it the length of the string or it is the location of
First
the
the
string?
offset and then
Offset,
the
and then the
Location
length of the
offset.
substring. Length of the
First the
substring.
So
position,
suppose second,
Mm.
and then
3. Let's
suppose
say
say
4,
5.
5.
So what it is doing?
Starting from second position
And
and
what does 5
taking
indicate?
5 characters from that.
Right?
Yeah.
So does it have, yeah, all 5 are there. What about 4? Yeah, there it is. So what if I want to convert into capital? I want all of them capital.
Comma, I guess. Comma, comma.
Single comma will give what?
It will.
Mm.
Why?
Oh, sorry,
should
it's
be
lowercase.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should be
hat.
caret.
Caret
Mm.
symbol.
Caret
Caret
So-
will everything will
is first one.
put. Yeah.
And if you do
Now
do,
everything.
it will do all of this. So the significance of this is suppose you are working in some of the shell script, right? And you want to modify some of the variable, and you may want to export that variable as a suppose what do you call environment variable for that particular bash instance. So in such a scenario, a good practice always is to name your environment variable into capital, always all caps.
So
If
in
it is
this,
your local variable, we usually use the smaller case. Yeah, sorry.
so
For environment
one question here, sir.
Yeah.
In this offset thing,
Hmm.
now what does the offset mean? You remove the first two characters, or does it mean that
You start from second
start
character.
from second position.
so this position, the index starts from 0, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, index starts from 0.
String, no, it is.
Okay.
So let's just look at
Sir,
it
how
from
to
one.
sir, how to get the characters apart from the mentioned offset characters?
Meaning?
Like 3 to 4. Like apart from index 3 to index 4, how to get the initial characters and the final characters clubbed together.
Mhm.
Mm.
You may want to concatenate two stuff, right? So suppose you just want the first one. How will you go? So you just start with 0,
Start
you
with
end with 0.
No, 0, 1.
0, 1.
Okay.
And then again, you can put dollar and curly bracket. And if you want the last one,
So where colon.
then
So
you'll have
this
to
is
count
7,
the.
right? 6,
6.
or is it 5 and then 6 like this?
No,
Yeah.
so it should be
You
6.
can put minus also, minus
That
from
will
the
from
end, and then take it.
So where should I put minus? Oh, from the end you mean to
from
say?
the end.
Yes, from
the
the
right
end.
side.
Okay, so
If you
let's
want the
just
last
do-
character, just put minus one,
Minus one,
and one. No, you have to put a space between the colon and the minus one. Otherwise, it won't work.
just see. It worked if I put space. Okay. So from last, just take different name. Yeah. Where 2 is equal to this is okay. So what should I do now?
Yeah, you have to put a space between the minus. Yeah, otherwise it'll be.
So you will get the T and you will get another T, right? Double
another
T.
T.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there it is. Where can you use this? Can you think of a use case where you actually want to chop off some part of the substring?
In the cut command, where we
In the file naming of files or something.
Hmm?
If
Yeah,
you want the
suppose
first portion of the file name and you don't want the
let's
extension,
make
file
a
extension.
let's make a function, okay, which renames it. Okay, it's this function. Correct?
FUNC.
Our name W. Is it correct? So what I will need? Sorry, where did I make mistake?
So it should be function.
If you
FUNC.
Yeah. Function our name. Okay. So what should it go? So you know that when you do ls, you get all of the file names, right? And I just want to have all the file names without their extension. So how should we go if I want to get that? So first we need to store that output into some of the variable, right? Just quickly exit from there. ls. So should I use ls or lsl? Hello.
If you just want
Yes.
the file name, then only ls will work.
ls will work, right?
Right? Otherwise, we have to cut all of this and then just get this one and then work on that, right? So let's just say we'll just use with ls. So what essentially we have to do, if I want to just all the files which has some extension, I just want to process those because these are all folders, right? So
Then
what if I want to just only have files displayed? What is the option for ls? Is there an option if you want only files to be showed?
with find there is that option like find then hyphen type f, I guess.
Not find, with just with
No, no.
ls.
File type.
I don't want it to give me what do you call any other information. Only no directories, only file. Anyways, just work on what we have. So we have what 6 inputs, right? So if I want to suppose var name is equal to what should be, hello,
You have to put, yeah,
correct? So $var name. Oh, sorry. Okay. So now you have all of this input.
there's an echo coming.
Yeah, echo is coming from your end actually. Hello?
Yeah, now it's fine, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
What you're saying, sir?
So I just want the files with, .html.
So you'll have to, in this, you'll have to do that pattern match, sir. You'll have to put a pound sign.
Then I have to
And,
assign that also to something else, right? So grape.
You don't have, you can use it without the grep also. But
Okay. Then how do you
So you
go?
can just simply do ls then dot star dot html. That will work.
No, because I assume that I have multiple different type of file types. I have HTML, I have TXT, I have suppose JPEG.
You can do ls then star dot html. It will give all the HTML files.
Not just HTML. I
we
want
want text
all
also.
of the extensions
Right.
available.
Then
So
you can do
suppose
star dot star,
ls
star dot star.
star dot star. Yeah. So let's store that into ls star dot star. So it becomes easy now.
Right.
So if we do, so how do you go by chopping off just the
Just
what
the
do you call
file.
just the extensions or just the file names?
You can
Either
just
is
use
fine.
cut and delimiter is the full stop and field
No,
one.
I am saying I want to edit in my variable. I want to modify my variable such that it only
But
gives me the
it
first
doesn't
part
have
of it.
constant characters. It has.
Oh, you can do a percentage and then dot
Correct.
star.
So what does percentage do?
It matches from the end. It removes that match part.
Okay. But I still have the first one.
Double percentage. Oh no, but
Yeah, double
And it
percentage
will
will
chop off
remove all
everything,
of.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you go? How do you make sure that both are present?
You have to run through it recursively.
Yeah, because the output is just a single line.
How is there way to print all the what do you call, whether it is an array or is it just regular variable? How will you know?
I think it's just a string.
So this is one of the way you can actually look at it, right? If it had been an array, the 0th one will have both the strings, right? The second, first, second, and all that. What if I want to just forget about all of this? Can I put this into an array? Can I make var name into an indexed array?
Yes, sir. You'll have to declare, or you can either put the entries individually or declare an array.
Let's say we will declare this as an array. Okay. So what is the
Declare a
Minus A.
minus a, small or capital?
Small.
Okay. So in this scenario, we should get same. It hasn't changed. Let's change the name. But even if name would have been an issue, yeah. Sorry. Hey, again, the issue is not resolved.
So you can put like double quotes and then backticks maybe.
Just a minute. Yeah, what you said?
Double quotes and then backticks.
In double quotes backticks?
Yes, sir.
Will it work?
I mean, we can try because backtick is basically executing the command.
Sorry. It's still the same. How indexed arrays are defined? Suppose let's forget about this. I say I have two names. How should I go by that? Like this? Sorry.
Now to create an array, sir.
Yeah.
So you'll
Indexed
have to
array.
put brackets. Just put the
Parenthesis.
parenthesis, sorry, and put the names of the file index.html. And
Okay. Now I want to, instead of doing that, I want to put, suppose this is my variable number 3. Can I put like this? Will it work?
variable.
Because in
No,
this
you'll
particular scenario, you haven't used the indexed array format, right?
Okay.
right.
Should it work or should it not work?
I think it will work.
Let's just say where name 3
So dollar, yeah.
go. Good practices. See?
Can you explain it, sir?
Didn't get.
So what essentially in this particular case you are doing, you are saying that declare it as an indexed array, but you are passing a single string to it using double quote or even with the single backtick. What essentially you did here is that that for an indexed array, the way we define array is you need to put whatever you want to put using this bracket, right? So if I say this is
Yeah,
Minus
this
small
very
is
clear.
for array, right?
uh,
Minus small is for array, right?
yeah, indexed array. Suppose 4. So should it create 3 different strings or should it give me just one single string in this case?
It's three different, sir,
Why?
because you've declared it as an array.
Uh-huh. So you have number 1,
Okay.
number 2, and number 3. This is what exactly you did in this case, right?
Yes.
What is the output of this command? Dollar where name, the output of is echo. So your
Yes.
output is space separated,
Got it.
right?
Clear, sir. Right.
So that is why it actually worked. So it assigned.
So it is variable name is indexed array, right? We are defining.
This one?
Yeah, this one. It is indexed array.
This is not an indexed array.
So
This is
This
just
is string.
just a string which you are passing through. The var name, the way you have defined earlier, was I think where it. Yeah, there it is. This is how we declared it. But in this particular scenario, all of you had was one single string going in, right?
mhm.
Because we haven't. So what if I use? Let's go to the same context. What if I use like this? Should it work now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It should work.
Yeah. What should I do
Minus
here?
A, sir.
Declare. What have you declared? P.
Yeah. A.
Hmm.
Yeah. So where name 0 home so dollar, right?
Yes, sir.
So as long as you follow the process, right, the procedure for the declaring the indexed array, you will get 2 separate names. So going back to the basic thing, right? Now, how do you make sure that in an indexed array it is chopping off only the end part, or do
Now
you
you
want to
can
go
do the
one by one?
percentage.
Okay. So var name it was, right, and now percent
Percent.
dot
Yeah.
star or
No,
star
it should
dot.
be var name, then bracket percent dot star.
At the rate, sure. Percent dot star. Dot star or star dot?
Dot star.
Okay. There it is. What if I remove
What are we
this?
shopping, sir? Here.
So what you originally had, you go back in var name.
Hmm.
There's only one now. Let me run it. In var, hey, why? Where did it go? It's showing only one.
In this, yeah, it's only showing one.
Why? It was just showing two, right? Just a moment ago. Yeah, in here also we were able to chop off the.
If you want to see all, you have to put the
Yes.
@ thing.
At the rate, yeah.
Yeah. What about hash? Hash gives you.
Hash will give the HTML and the TXT. The
It will
number,
just tell
okay.
you the number.
Number, right.
What if I remove?
thought
this?
of
It
the
will tell
pattern
you the
matching.
total one. Yeah. What?
For pattern matching, if you want the HTML and TXT, then you will have to put hash star dot, and you will get HTML instead of index.
Yeah. So you need to do so. What the way we chopped it off? Where did it go? Yeah, this one, right? So
Yes.
instead of this, we just need to do hash.
And no,
Right.
and this will be star dot.
Because from the beginning you want to do it, right?
Yes.
Any character and then star. You guys know the meaning of dot and star, right?
Yes, sir.
So.
Sir, in the
So
above
it should
command,
be
why did it
star
give you 10?
Huh?
It should be
The above command, why did
star dot.
it give 10, sir?
Should be star dot. Yeah. Sorry.
No. What Manan was it? What were you asking?
I'm saying, sir, why it is giving 10 here? Echo dollar var name.
Yeah.
Hash.
So in here, right? What we are counting are the characters. How many characters does this string has?
Okay, number of characters by hash.
Yeah.
And
So the hash gives you total number of characters. If you put at here, it will tell you how many independent entries there are. So
okay.
there are two in that sense.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the next one, the hash var name, it is actually taking just the first element and returning the length.
Yeah.
Not for the
So-
entire array.
Yeah. So this is like, if you want to rename things and all that, you can use all of this kind of variable manipulation. The point of this exercise was that.
Can you put the percentage also in this one, sir? And this, let's.
Percentage.
Yeah.
The percentage will do what?
So I think it reverses store. Yeah.
The reason, see, when you do percentage, right? Should it match from the beginning or match from the end?
End.
Percentage matches from the end.
Right. And what about the hash?
From the start, beginning.
Beginning. Yeah.
So what a hash does is it deletes the shortest substring match from the front. And what percentage does is delete the shortest substring match from the back. So whenever it finds, suppose in this scenario we have dot, right? So this is very confusing. What you are looking at, dot and star or star and dot. What if I have a variable name? Let's just, what was that variable name? This is great, right? Just go to that. Yeah, this is great. Let's do it. Okay. So in this scenario, if I want to cut a string, the shortest match from the beginning and shortest match from the end, how will you go by that? Will you use dot star?
No, you'll put comma.
Yeah, because
You'll have to put some. It depends upon what we want here.
Yeah. See, I want string before comma and after comma.
So you will put comma then.
right?
So this is not a
So
string. It is an
anything,
array.
sorry,
It is an array. It is not a string.
yeah. So in
Yeah.
this scenario, it will only do it in great case, right?
Yes, so it will just
Yes,
print
yes,
this
yes.
is great without the comma and let's do it again.
Yeah. So what it will do? It will delete the great, or it will delete the space after it,
It will delete the
or
comma.
nothing. So in case of
It'll
percentage,
delete
find a
great.
substring match from the back. Let's just check. It deleted the comma.
comma.
So it's because it's a array.
And what if I do here in hash? What should be the output? Same?
I think no change.
Oh, sorry. It should be star comma.
It will remove great. Yeah.
No. Why did it remove great in this instance and why it did not in this instance? In this instance. What does your percentage represents? Percentage tells you delete the shortest substring match from the. So percentage is shortest substring match from the back or front?
Front.
End.
From back
This
is
is
what
from the
this
front
is.
because what is displayed is what is unmatched.
So in this instance, right, each is an part of an array, right? This is a part of an array. Is great. Each of it is what do you call it? Individual, right? So
So
this particular hello, yeah,
so this it will always match from the front, but what is displayed is the unmatched. The unmatched is displayed in this pattern matching.
how come?
I mean, that's what the lecture said. The unmatched is displayed. The matched is, but I may be wrong, but this is what I gather.
You're correct. The matched is removed and the unmatched is shown, but it is for percentage. It is done from the back.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
so
for
from the
hash, it is
back,
from the
the moment you will hit the comma, right?
yeah.
In any of it, suppose you have a percentage and you're going from the back. So I hit the comma. Should I delete before it or after it?
It was the exact thing is the first. If a single hash means the first pattern match of a comma from left to right.
Yeah, just take a look at it one more time. Yeah. So in here, great is missing. In here, thing is missing, right? Right now, in this instance, this is one single word, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if I just go for what dollar
Yes, sir.
hash in var name 4, right? Do echo dollar what? Hey, there is this issue again. Is it correct?
Yes, sir. Go. Yeah. Close the bracket.
Var name 4, and then is it correct now?
No, you have to put the in this var name. You have to put hash before. You're doing it for the length of the. Yeah.
No, it will take. Yeah. It will take each one and then done. Correct?
Yes, sir. Should.
Just go $i. $I is still 0. Anyways,
Its var name is, I
It should
think
be
you have, there's an underscore between.
no,
it,
that's what we did now in this. So
it
if
should
you look
be
at
Var
it,
underscore name 4.
it should be exclamation mark instead of hash.
For the length,
Hash gives the length, exclamation gives the number of the indices.
so this var name is, where did we declare this? Var name,
there.
it is var underscore name, na?
Name, no?
We are putting,
See,
Var underscore name.
that's why you need to have consistent naming scheme. Okay, where was we? Where were we? Where name 4. Should it run now? So you have 6 strings, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 strings are there, correct.
0 to
7 are
6.
there, right?
Yeah, 7 are there. And if we just go by,
So, sir, 0 to 6,
Again.
0 to 7 it should be, no?
no, there are total 7, right? 1, 2, 3. This whole is 3.
Acha,
4,
whole is
5, 6, 7. So that's how you have total 0 to 6. So that
So
is
great
total
thing
7.
is
Is a one single word. The reason why we took it, right, to know whether the operation which we performed here, right, are they deleting from the back or the front. So if they find first match from the front, right, they should delete the second one, and if they find a match from the back, they should delete the second one in that scenario. Like, so if you look at it now, you tell me, like, now we confirm that we have excuse me. Yeah. So the percent sign should delete the shortest substring match from the back.
Right.
Right. So in this particular case, you have great comma thing. So you have percent, and then you want to match anything followed by a comma, right? From the back.
percentage is like anything or from the back.
Percentage means match whatever which comes after that, right? From the back. So we
From the back.
want comma and anything, right? Star means
Anything.
anything which could be before that, correct?
But from the back.
Yeah, from the back. So the moment it matches it here, it will remove that string from the back.
Okay.
And in the same way, when you do the hash, it will start matching from the front. Okay. And then I have found the comma, right? So
Yeah.
it will delete the first instance when it will see that. So it has taken out this whole sentence, this whole part of the string.
Okay.
Correct. This is a substring, right? Great is a substring. Thing is a substring of a full string. Great comma thing. Correct. So the percentage has deleted from the back, the whatever the match was, and the hash has deleted from the front. So this is one of the use cases where you may have a lot of files which may have been take an example in your phone, whatever files which are created using your camera usually will have a date stamp or a time stamp or something of that sort, and if you want to modify all of that and you want to give some custom names to it, right? In such a scenario, this variable manipulation comes very handy. Okay. So what is the difference between what do you call an index array and an associative array? Can anyone tell? And how do you define an associative array?
It's the same syntax, just capital A.
Yeah. So what does the how
Like the
do you go by
associative
it?
one is like a dictionary in Python.
Correct.
Hash table, yeah.
So it's an hash table. So in this particular scenario, right? In this particular case, when Sorry, where did it go? In this case, we had from 0 to 6, right? So all of these strings were a match from 0 to 6. What if I want to declare this the same thing in associative array? How do you do that? I go, what is it? Declare capital A,
Hmm.
where string is equal to, or just just declare that first. So how do I add? Mm,
You do dollar var string square bracket and then the name of the key and then store the value.
or are we just doing var string, then suppose key 1, is it correct?
Yes,
Is
keyword.
equal to this. Is correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is sorry,
Key 2.
key 2 should be is the key, or will it add to this?
It will replace.
What if I want to add? Is there any way to do that?
Plus equal
Plus
to
equal.
Plus equals, right? Only then it will add to existing.
Yeah.
So this is great. What was that? This is great
thing. Let's do it again.
thing, right? Key 3 is that. Key 4. Right. Let's it. See, we have 7. Okay. It can be anything, right? The keys can be anything. Okay. In
Yes.
an associative array, you can name whatever you want. It doesn't need to be this in order. What is it that I need to echo to print out all of it? Echo dollar var string what at?
At, right.
So this will print all of it. So why is it not in order? This is
Because it's not indexed, it will never be in order.
right, because and why do you want to use associative arrays over indexed array? Here we saw that we have some way to use this. Where will you use where you need to have an indexed array, associative arrays? I think
It's just like a dictionary, right? When you want
Dictionary,
a
yeah.
key value pair.
Yeah. So the essential, the point I was trying to make was that in indexed array, right, you have to go through the array to get the value, right, to do some processing. But in case of associative arrays, you can directly get to the key and have process done on it simultaneously. Correct? So when you do shell scripting, you may come across some of the cases where you need to directly operate on multiple keys at the same time, which is doable by using associative array, which is not possible by using indexed array. Right now, I don't have any particular use case. Maybe when we will get into the business of awk, right? Sed and awk, when we'll start learning. Sed and awk is covered in this week 5.
No, sir, no.
not in week 5.
Okay. So when we will get to awk, right, we'll see how useful the concept of associative arrays can be. Can you think of a place where you can use it in real life in your shell scripting? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, sir. We're
Yeah.
thinking.
Where usually we use associative arrays in
In
general?
shell scripting, you
No,
said
no.
specific.
Yeah, in specific, you can tell me in shell scripting, but in general, whenever you use dictionaries, right? For what purpose dictionary data structure is used? What kind of processes we can do using a dictionary data structure?
When you need ordered pairs, you have ordered pairs, then it is the best to use dictionary data type.
Yeah, but what is the use case of ordered pair? Like, where in actual life you
Okay.
would need to use that?
When you want the key to be a string,
Yeah, like when that will become an important aspect where you actually need to know that information.
Like keeping the record of a student, you can say his roll number and his the name and place and name. So that all that for a single student, you can use a key value pair. And
Can you think of CD? Suppose we go to pin, and again we will go back to our standard example. Can we use index array in doing some operation with this information? What kind of information can you get it out from this?
you can create uh, dictionaries and files. I mean, you can distinguish with key files and key of as dictionary and segregate them.
Yeah, a standard use case which I can think of right now is that that your hard links are has unique inode number, right? So
Right.
whenever I have that particular inode number, right, I want to know all of the
A list
files,
of
list of the
okay,
files associated with it.
right.
Or I want to add up all the files which has multiple entries in hard links, or they are a part of a soft link. In this scenario, right, you can see that there is some soft link can also be identified using L, right? I want to know all the space occupied by the soft links or the location of the actual file in the directory. So something of this kind of operation, file operations, which you can do by using associative arrays also. Apart from that, mostly in Linux, we deal with a lot of logging, generating report from it to know how many logins were there, how many packages were installed correctly, where all error occurred. All of this information you can store in a particular way. But if you want to get into a specific error, suppose I get an error code of suppose 1800, I want to know all the instances when it occurred. Given that you have very log file or you have many log files across which you want to work with, so usually we don't go and use the arrays. Rather, we use grep or sed and awk to do generate those reports. But it can be a good use case, specifically in case of awk, where you may need to do certain operations on certain type of structured files. That it is very useful. So probably uh, in week 7, I think we will discuss that. So in one of those open session, I'll have some good examples ready. So apart from that, what else is covered in till week 5? Whatever we have discussed so far, and what was discussed yesterday. Am I leaving anything? Yeah, the question which was asked right earlier.
Yes, sir. The shift command, if you can just give, I've understood the command, how it works. My only this thing was that when you put this in the example, what they're given, I'll just go to the example. Just give me a second, sir.
Yeah.
So in this example, what was given, there was a while loop used saying that the string is not empty. If the string is not empty, which was given by -n, and within quotes, it was $1. So the $1 refers to the argument. So if the argument, if I put with my command certain arguments, so giving that argument within quotes means it's taking the whole thing as a string.
Okay. Why don't you do one thing? Okay, I'll stop presenting, share your screen, and explain what exactly you're trying to do. And I want the people who are present, right, to participate into this discussion. We get this done quickly. Okay, just share your screen, ask the question, and
Okay.
Let's see. So you know what essentially shift does, right? Hello.
Yes, sir. So is
Yeah,
it
the other people who are present in the session, do you know what does the shift command do?
So it just takes the arguments, like it's like it goes to the next argument in the command line argument.
So usually when you run a shell script, right, either we can do dot slash and that shell script name, or for that shell script name, you may have multiple entries, right, multiple instances or multiple arguments passed to that particular command line, and you want to process uh, each argument one by one, right? So that is one of the use case where you can use shift command, where every time you use shift, it will take away the first in line, the first argument in line, and it will shift it to the next one. So suppose you have given four command line arguments to a particular script, it will take away the first one and it will keep the rest three. So it will keep on shifting till there are no other arguments left.
okay? Okay, so in this particular case, sir, what I wanted to know was, suppose I just run this. Can I run it?
Sorry.
Should I run? I just had one doubt in this, sir.
Okay.
So is
So
my
yeah, your screen is visible. Can you just make it a little bigger?
okay?
Yes. So you have shift example echo number of arguments echo dollar hash I is equal to 1
So
5.
again,
You can just increase the font size from, you see that 3-line option, right? From there you can increase the
This
font size. Yeah, just go there and go to preferences. Yeah, go there, go to your profile.
okay?
No, just click on the profile, not on the plus sign.
Okay, well, it's not, nothing's happening, sir.
Oh. Go to global then.
Okay.
No, go to unnamed is there na, at the end.
Yeah.
That is the profile which is active right now. Okay.
Okay.
So in here, if you go, I think it should be right over here.
Here, should I increase this?
No, not that. Go to
Next
command.
to monospace, there is 12. Make it something big.
Yeah, that there. Custom font. Just click on that.
Custom.
Right below that, yeah. You have custom
Okay,
font.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, click on that. So it is not active yet.
Okay.
And then just click and then you get to choose your font and you can also increase your font size.
So I can increase the size.
Yeah, however big you want to. Keep it around 20, I think 20, 28 would be enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
just select. Yeah, there it is. Just close
okay.
this. Yeah, now it is visible. Yeah, Manan, was it right? You had some question?
no, I was unable to see the.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this won't give anything. I need to change this. Okay, so I'll put
The second, third, fourth.
This shift command is discussed in the last lecture of week 5.
So my question here is, it is if you see the code, just this particular is supposed to take that first, second, third, fourth as a complete string, right?
No. See, what does $1 means?
The argument.
Right. The first argument.
The first argument, yeah.
Right. Each time it will check whether you have a first argument or not.
Yeah. So when I put it within quotes, So it's combining all my first, second, third, fourth arguments as a single argument. First argument only.
No.
No?
It's just taking the first argument and just printing it as it is. It's double quote safeguards in the sense like if $1 had a space in itself, the first argument had a space, then
Yes.
the conditional will give an error without the double quotes.
So I put a space, no?
No. As in, like, if the first argument itself was like in dollar quotes, first space argument,
Uh-huh.
then if you don't put the double quotes in the while loop, this will give an error because it will just assume it to be minus n first argument. So it won't handle the.
So I didn't understand what specifically does this quotes do for this is the first argument. So if I put first, that is my first. What does this quote do?
It keeps the argument as a string.
All the arguments, no? First, second, third,
The
fourth.
first argument, $1
First
is just
argument
the
only.
first argument.
It keeps the first argument as a string.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mhm.
because
if you
you're
put $0, it will give you everything.
Okay.
Mhm.
so $0 will be the name of the program, right?
No, with the name of the program and all of the arguments should be printed, right? With $0.
I think it's only the name of the program.
Just do it. Just print
Print what?
$0 in there.
Okay.
So in the while loop, right? Just make a change and see.
Okay.
Yeah. So because $0 is your bash, you're just echoing bash right now. Yeah, Archit,
Yes, sir.
saying something, right?
No, I was just saying that $0 will be the
What?
name of the program.
You want me to change this to $0?
Yeah.
Now run it. How do I get out of it? It's gone into an infinite loop.
Control C.
Control C.
Okay. Yeah, so that won't work.
No, $0 is just for the name of the program. If you want to, I'm not sure. What do you want from the program?
No, my question was what exact. So I'm still not clear about what this quotes does in this whole thing.
Like, for example, if you remove the quotes,
One
then-
minute.
yeah.
Okay, if I remove the quotes, yeah.
Yeah. And
So
also, you don't need to source it. Just run it // and then your file name,
Okay.
so that we only get the output shown, not the entire program over and over again.
Okay, so I just run
Dot,
it.
dot /
First, you need to have the executable permission.
Is
CMOS.
it executable? Just check whether it is executable or not.
Hmm.
+X, you can just do that. That is also fine.
Okay. It is.
Where is it?
It is.
Now do
Just
//
//
or you can just do bash shift example.sh also. Just // yeah, enter.
Oh God.
You
Again,
didn't provide
Control
the-
C.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to
Now
give
what is
the-
happening? Why? Where is it? Just go to, just do cat shift example, so that we can just see the code instead of whole VI editor. Just do cat your argument. So what was it printing? Argument $I is $1, and what was your $I?
nothing. I didn't put anything.
No, the number which you see up, right? Look at your output. What is it? What is it
I
counting?
is 1.
I is not 1.
I is
Look at the output.
67705.
Yeah, 67705.
Yes. Yes. Six.
Your argument is $, that is $1.
Okay. This one.
So why don't you do, just run the same program and get a head. So just output that. No, it won't work, right? I just
No,
want to see the
shouldn't I
first.
put an argument in front of this?
Yeah, try putting arguments. Now, because you have not put any arguments, right? I think
Yeah.
what it was counting is what I am interested in to knowing.
Yes, none.
It was just running through all of this. See, it is still doing that.
Right.
I want to know whether it goes through from 1 to you went to 6, 9. That is what I want to know.
Okay. So what do you want me
Is
to
it
do?
iterating? So by the time you did Control C, right? It
Right.
had already ran that loop 69,000 times. That is what it means.
Right. Right, sir.
Yeah, just go to your cat and look at your code again. Yeah, so what echo argument is your $1 is never printing, right?
Yes, it's not printing. Right.
It never printed dollar first, the first, second, third,
First
and all that.
argument.
Yeah, while -n. So now you do what you said in double quotes.
In double quotes, right. Okay.
And look at the man page of this also. Test condition here. And
How should I run it?
yeah, run it with -n. It is just checking whether it is a string or not.
So
Zero. It's working, right?
yeah, it's working. But what does this double quotes do then? I'm still not clear about it.
So double quote is ensuring that you're comparing it with the first argument. When you remove the double quote, right? It is treating it as I think, a variable $1, not a special variable.
Okay. Okay.
So it is
This is a special
shifting.
variable, right? $1.
It is shifting to the right, right? I mean,
Now that the shift is doing, that I'm clear.
first and
But
second.
I didn't understand what this double quote $1 is doing. So it's treating every argument as is taking the first argument only,
Mhm.
and then it's removing it and going to the next one. For whatever is left is the first
Yeah.
argument. Now it's clear, sir. Got it.
Yeah, I think it's shifting one argument and using double quotes.
Try it with single quote. Should
With
it work?
single quote.
Single quote will treat it as a literal, sir.
Yeah, let's just see the way I usually learn, right? Is I keep on playing with all the options you have. So whatever you have learned so far, right? There is a higher chance that you will get confused. Do I need to use single quote, double quote? Do I need to? So you can even put curly braces here. Will that change the output? Forget about you didn't give double quote. You just gave dollar into curly braces 1. Will it give you the same output? Or should it not give you the same output?
If I put
Because
curly
there-
braces.
Yeah, $1. Yeah. Now just go with $1 now, and then go with $1 with curly braces. Yeah, save it.
Should
So
I put curly braces?
what you're tasting here is that whatever you are putting ahead of this is a string or not. Do you think a single quote $1 will fetch the first argument
No, it won't, sir.
provided? Why so?
I think the syntax is for the double quote for it to treat it as a string.
Just run the top
Run,
command.
run. Mhm.
Now you do with the curly braces. Because a lot of time what people will do, they will also compare it just $1 with something, $2 with something.
That is a special variable or
It is
only
a special
dollar?
variable. $1 is a special variable.
Like it is denoting the first argument or
First argument.
Yeah.
like he said, right? $0 will give
Will
you the
name of
file
that.
name. The $1 will give you the, and you can also see the way the coloring changes. Now with double quote, was it always purple? Just go and run.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, even with the
So
double
that
quote,
is
you don't.
also, so it tells you that definitely double quote is the set syntax by which you can only fetch the first argument.
First
The
time.
because it
Right.
is a special shell. This happened. What if you do, $, or
$2 and $1.
$? All of those are your set of special characters, right? Special shell variables.
So
Right.
is double quote required here because it's a single square bracket?
Let's do that. Do double square bracket. Remove that
Double.
while put double square brackets there.
Okay.
Because single square bracket only means test. In double square bracket, you can get away with a lot of other syntactical issues. You need to put a space. You need to remove the space.
Oh.
I removed the bracket itself.
Okay. Now remove this.
Backspace. No, no,
Okay.
Just
backspace.
put backspace.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not very comfortable with this.
Same here.
No, if you learn the Vim, right? Vim key bindings and all that, it will become so powerful eventually. Of
This
course,
is
it will
weird.
be difficult, but this is what you will get an interface usually when you will work with servers. So there is no way you will get
Okay, it's working, sir.
yeah. So what was the issue? Just open the man page of test. Will it work with double quote now, or will it give you an error with double quote now?
It's not giving an error. It's working.
No, no, no. Now
Double
you didn't put the double quote, right? It was
No,
without
I
quote.
didn't put the double quote. Yeah.
Yeah. Now put double quote.
Okay.
Now it will give an error.
It should give you an error, or it should not, because anyways it should treat it literally. Go. Yeah. Try now. Single bracket, single quote definitely won't work.
It's working.
working.
It's working, right? So the essential part is that whether you put double quote or not, you need to ensure whenever you are testing,
To put the double bracket.
you always put double brackets. If you put
Right.
single bracket, right, it is
Yeah.
essentially only avoiding putting test ahead of it, right?
Right. Right.
So whenever you're so double bracket is very important when you do double I mean equality operators also, equal to, greater than, or equal to, something like that.
Got it, sir. Clear.
So
Thank you, sir.
single square bracket is for testing
Test.
the
Yeah, so just open man test. Can you?
Man test.
Yeah, man page. So not man test. So you want to know all of the logical operations which we do, right? The conditional. So it is done through test. There are different ways we can actually uh, do this test conditions. So
Okay.
in this scenario, right, if you want to use not equal to or equal to, you have to use with double square brackets. And if you are okay with hyphen EQ or a hyphen GE, then you can use single square brackets.
Okay.
For integers, right? But for string,
Yeah,
it will
yeah.
String, it has to be this
Yeah.
equal to and greater than. See.
also, sir, is there only a single equal to, or is it equal to equal to?
No. It is equal to. There is no equal to in shell script comparison.
So even if it is a double square bracket or a single square bracket.
Yeah. It is not. If you just open the man test page, you will see that.
Okay.
Yeah. So the way in usual languages work, right? Equals to assigns it and double equals to is for testing purpose, right? That is not the case
Yeah.
with the shell.
It's equal to only.
Yeah, and it also, like when you use square brackets, right? You can also get away with spacing issues. So if you forget to add a space, or you forgot to delete the space in your testing condition, so in you need not put space equal to space something. So in your code, right, you had hyphen E, right?
Hyphen N.
N. That's what
Hyphen
I.
N, and then if you remove the space, will the code still work?
If I remove the space,
Hmm.
okay.
Space before and after the square bracket is there, right? In the single one and in double one. That also you can test, and then you will get to know,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes, sir.
what can be doable and what cannot be.
So
So
you're
if I,
saying in double square bracket, space is not like a requirement, but in a single one it is.
single bracket, it is very essential.
But in double you can go without even if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't have a
yeah,
space, it will work.
yeah. We just
Actually,
took a look at the. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
no, so I was just saying that actually I should have done this myself, the experimentation. And
The
then,
whole reason why I
yeah,
conduct the live session like this is that it becomes a good habit
right, sir.
for testing your own code.
Yes, sir.
And you can always test your code in small blocks, never test a big chunk of code. Always, even when you're in exam, right, try to think of a smallest you know uh, block of code which you would like to run, and then think of the next bigger one. What usually happens is that when we give you some exam, we give you some questions to do program in OPP1 and OPP2. uh, Students usually don't understand that they need to break down that big task into smaller chunks and approach each chunk separately, and do little bit of testing, because I think it is allowed that you can submit that n number of times, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you get to experiment while you are actually doing those. So I feel that I think in CT and uh, other courses also, I think this is one of the important factor they must have taught you, that the code blocks, like you need to think of your code into smaller segments and test each of the segments separately, so that at the end of it, uh, yeah, Kaushik, all the recordings are on YouTube, on our channel SE 2001.
So I had a doubt in graded assignment 4.2.
4.2.
Question number 2. So you're on mute.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm asking graded assignment 4.2, VI editor or Emacs editor?
Emacs editor. Emacs editor.
Emacs.
Question number 2.
Sir, in exam, we can get option for V or Emacs. I mean,
No,
which
we are not testing you for VI and Emacs in exams,
so
because there is no way we can build that structure to test you on those.
Even in
Those are
so will the questions from that editor part will come? I
on
mean,
OPPs, it won't come. Even if it comes in exams, it will be very elementary in nature. So as long as you attempt all of the graded assignments and do the practice assignment, it should be fine. Basically, you
oh,
need to know how to open a file, navigate through a file, close a file, save a file, copy a file, something of that sort. Yeah.
no, but should we stick to one editor or
You can stick to one editor. It is good to know how to at least open. So, given a circumstance, if certain files are not available for you, right? Certain editor is not available for you. You need to look for alternative editor which is available on a terminal. So, we want you to get accustomed to this. At least know, how to uh, work around given what do you call it? Given certain task.
so
So
for
that is the
quiz
whole
it is
process.
important to learn both
Yeah,
editors.
for quiz, just learn how to open, how to close, how to if there is a pattern you want to check, or you want to get onto a particular line, whatever professor has taught you on in the video lectures, right? Try to just get around that.
He has focused more on V editor rather than Emacs.
No,
I mean,
probably because he's more of an
yeah.
VI person. There
So
are in shell coding, right? There are set of people who likes only VI, and there are set of people who like Emacs. But at least knowing how to use it, that is good enough. And as long as you try to do all of these assignments on your own, I'm pretty sure you'll be,
Because I hadn't done the set to Emacs editor assignment. So
okay. Just go through with it and
Okay.
try to see what you can get from it. Even myself, I am an VI editor person, not an Emacs person,
Okay.
if you
Okay.
want to say. Because I have been using it VI or something similar for so long,
Mhm.
it becomes easy for me. It becomes second in nature. Like the way Vivek just used VI, right? It becomes second to him, right? Second nature. How to open it and how to close it and how to save a file, how to navigate through the file.
Okay.
That is all there is to it.
So I will just look at the assignment here. The next one.
Uh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Is the
I had a doubt in question 2.
yeah, question two. I'm just going through that. The pointer is currently present at the top of the document. Open in the Emacs editor. In which line and position is the pointer after executing the following Emacs commands in order? This document open in the editor has same number of characters in each line. So, do you know what these command do?
Yes, sir. A will take it to the first character. E will take it to the end of the line. B will take it one character back.
Hmm.
N will take it one line down.
Hmm.
So
So, yeah,
shouldn't
yeah.
it be fourth line and second last character?
So with A, what you have done?
It will
Just
go to
go
the
one by.
first beginning of the line.
Okay, it went to the beginning of the line. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
the pointer was already at the top of the document,
Yes,
right?
sir.
A will just keep it where it was. Then what E will do?
Yeah. Then E
E
will
will
bring
get
it
to
to
the
the end.
end, right? Now it is at the end, right?
Yes, sir.
Now what does B will do?
It will take it one character back.
So the pointer, what do you call it? One character back means if it has started at the zeroth position, it went it at the end of the line at the zeroth position. Again, with B, it will try to go back, right? But it can't go back, right?
Why, sir?
You said A takes you at the beginning of the line, right?
Yes, sir.
E will take you at the end of the
End,
document, right?
end of the line.
End of the line, okay. I assumed A takes you at the top, E takes you at the end of the document.
No, sir. It's for a line only.
Okay, so B will take you
One character back.
one character back, and N will take you
One line down.
one line down. So you have three line down,
Yes.
correct?
So you will be in the fourth line, and I think it
You
should be the second last character.
see, you were already on the first line, right?
Yes, sir.
You went to the end of the line, right?
Yes, sir.
You went one character to the left,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Second last character,
Right.
basically.
You are already on the first line. So you
Yes, sir.
add three, that becomes four line.
Yes, sir.
Four line and one character before, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Why don't you open your Emacs editor?
So
Did you
personally,
try this or you
no,
did
sir.
not try this?
I myself am a VI guy only. But
uh, let's no just why don't you just open and install, because I believe that when you actually moving, right, logically what could be the reason why it didn't work was whoever formed this question knows that you will not actually go and test all of this command. You will know what they do, but when you actually do them, whether the N will take the cursor at the end of the line or the beginning of the line,
so
or will it just
what
move
he does is,
one line below.
yeah, what I actually checked it way before. Like
Hmm.
what it does is it does not take you to the last character. It takes you to the blank space after that character, basically where you can add extras.
E,
Yeah,
then it will take you to the last character, right?
but will that
B,
extra part be counted as a character or not?
it will be na. So if you open your VI editor, right,
Yes, sir.
when you go to the end of the line, you are at when you press that option, right, you are at the end of the line where the cursor keeps on blinking. It will not go to the white space, correct?
No, you can go to the white space.
No, no. When you go, like when you press an option of the end of the line, right? When you are in there are three modes in VI, right?
Yes, sir.
In the visual mode, when you go to the end of the line, it will blink at the last character of the line, not the space after that line.
I think it
Yes.
is at the space of that line.
The VI which I am using right now, what it does is it takes you to the last line. Unless and until you are not in an insert mode, you cannot go even further than whatever lines, whatever the characters which are present in the
Okay.
line. So you, if you are in an insert mode, you can easily move one position on the right. Otherwise, the VI editor won't allow you to move at all. But uh, if your Emacs editor allows you to go to the end of the line in the white space area, then one character back will be the end character, last character. That is correct, right?
Yeah, it will take you to the white space.
Yeah. So if it takes you to the white space, a character before that will be the last character of the line. Correct?
Okay, okay, understood. Then.
Then you, all your other things are pretty straightforward, right? 1 plus 3 is your fourth line, and then
Yeah, okay,
last
okay.
character.
So the
So
white space at the end is not considered a character.
it is not a character now,
Okay, okay.
because if you look at in VI editor, right, if you have a white space at the end, it is counted as a character,
Yeah,
right? But if you don't have any white space at the end of the line, the last character is your end of the line, not the
yeah,
white space.
understood. But in insert mode, you can go to a character
In
beyond.
insert mode, it is possible. In visual mode, you try to navigate, right? Yeah, Vivek.
So
So
visual.
only in VI editors, like you said, if even if you have to insert, it'll take you to the last character at the end of the line.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But to insert, you have to press A instead of I. So
Mhm.
the A will create a white space next. Otherwise, it's very difficult. With I, you can't.
No, you use insert key. I
Yeah.
don't use I use insert. So that takes me
Okay.
automatically
Okay.
at that. So these are the little tricks you will. So as long as you open those editors and just, at least move around little bit with whatever sir has, done the same thing with VI, you do the same thing with Emacs. As long as you do those processes, I think that should be good enough for you to appear for the exam. And like
And
you said, right, the important part of this was that the hyphen e doesn't take you to the last character, but it takes you to the white space after the character.
yes, sir.
Otherwise, your other option becomes true. So this is kind of a trick question.
Okay.
People who have used it definitely will know.
And should we know the Nano and edX or editors also, or just VI Remax?
VI Emacs is good enough. Even if you learn VI for your
Yeah,
own personal purpose, it is enough. Nano is very easy. Nano
Nano
is
is very
also very
simple.
small. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very simple, and it tells you what option, what what all options you will have right away, right off the bat. But with VI editor, you can do a lot more than what Nano will allow you. So when you go in advanced level programming, or you become a full-fledged developer, or if you have big files open, you want to move easily between, different code blocks and all that, it becomes very easy to do with Vim and Emacs, which is why a lot of advanced level developers usually tend to use either of the editor instead of visual editors or GUI editors.
The most powerful thing about VI, what was demonstrated, was the substitution, sir. So you want to substitute, you can substitute even 10,000, any amount of characters with a
The
single command.
the Linux which you're using right now, whatever the programs which you're using, the GUI you are using to go navigate to different files and folder, right? You can even do that with using VI or Vim key bindings. You don't even need to, pull up your finger and navigate. You can simply do it with the keyboard itself. So a lot of people who are already in advanced level, they never use full version of Linux. They will use stripped down version of Linux, which essentially runs just by using Emacs or VI, Vim or
Okay.
NeoVim. They will not. It will save a lot of resources also, and once it becomes second nature to you to traverse through a file using just that, it becomes easy. And you can also, do pattern matching among multiple files. You can do crazy stuff with both of those text editors, and you need not use a lot of resources also to search, system resources. Yeah, so I think that is it for today's session. I Best of luck for your exams,
Thank you, sir.
and let's discuss more fun concepts in coming open sessions. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.